welcome to a special episode of Dialogue, the Game Matters podcast. This is
Oh.
this is technically episode 150, but we are here for the Gamer Malaya and Gamer Matters Game of the Year Awards 2023.
Welcome.
I'm Kim.
It's that time of the year, folks. We in December. So, what better time to figure out and make a big old list of the best or most favorite games that we have played. Yes, emphasis played.
Yes.
Yeah, for this year, 2023. What a good year it was for video games. A lot of good games all around. If you say there are no good games releasing this year, I would have to question your gaming taste, and I would advise you to explore
Play
more.
more. Yeah.
Play more games.
Play more other games.
Play
Yeah.
more games. I was
More
about to
than-
say
yeah.
go touch grass, but then you cannot play games.
Yeah, like do not stop playing your annual releases. Like, your FIFA, your NBA, or your COD. No, this is the good year. This is the good year. But even though it is the good year, but we have to give a big mention to sadly the 7,000 layoff game developers over the course of the year, because while it has been a good year for video games, not a good year for game development, huh?
Mhm.
Come on, big corporations, come on. It's not that expensive. You don't need your 7 yacht. You don't need it.
Don't listen too much to the investors.
Don't listen to the investors. The numbers don't matter. Really.
They only care about your money, not your people. That you have to rehire again the next 3 years or so when you have to expand again. God damn it. Anyway, for those who for those who may feel like they have no games to play this year, they haven't found the good games to play. Hey, why not start here with our top 30, our best 30 games, video games that we have picked, we have curated, we have selected, we have shortlisted for this year. And who are
Yep.
we? We are the folks that run the Dialogue Game and Matters podcast, who you may have heard like 149 episodes before. And also, this is the bulk of the stuff that makes up Gamer Matters and Gamer Malaya.
Yep.
So, introducing the panel, we have Daniel over there.
Hello.
On the other side is Anan.
What's up?
And I am Amirul Mekronos Ashraf or Mek. And yeah, before we convene here virtually to talk to you good folks about our top 30 list, there have been a process. There has
Yes.
been a spreadsheet. And we have done this for like, how many years? 7?
7 years?
Oh,
Yep, 7 years. So
Yeah.
2018, yeah. Since 2018.
I think we've done it since 2017.
2017. Oh, yeah.
So how many years was that? Oh, we should have put this in the spreadsheet. We should have put this on the spreadsheet.
This is the
How many?
seventh. The
7
seventh.
year, yeah.
year.
Okay,
annual.
7 year. Okay.
7 annual, yeah.
Okay, cool. We have made lists, we have given awards, and yeah, the main reason we have these awards every year is one, we ourselves, we want to celebrate the games and the developers and the publishers who have like made our year, who have made good games that we have enjoyed throughout the year. And this is like a celebration of that, a reminder, a way for us to look back at history and say what good games that were on this particular year, instead of having to do a rabbit hole or search or rely on Google and their list, which may or may not be true.
SEO, the manipulation. Sorry.
And so why not we figure it out, have it done, and have it preserved somewhere. So, but this is for us, and yeah, that's the thing. This is specifically to represent the voices in Gamer Malaya and Gamer Matters. Of course, there are plenty of other different opinions of what's supposed to be Game of the Year, and you are allowed to have that opinion. it's okay to not like that one game of the year that one other award have awarded to that game. It's fine. It's okay. You can make your own game of the year list and say that is my game of the year. And this is what we have done. Not necessarily to put a middle finger to other awards. No, no. But this is to represent our own voice, our own opinions, and to share that perspective to whoever is listening or watching or visiting the site. So with that all out of the way, have we covered everything?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we go to the meat and potatoes.
Yes. We have shortlisted. We have listed out 30 games, and all of the 30 games for this year in this list, we have all played them. Which unfortunately meant that the games that we do, we say, the games that we haven't played are not making it in the
I'm
list.
not making this. Sorry.
Unfortunately, I think last year was the last one we have done that, and I guess that's a good sign lah, because now we can say that yeah, we have grown, we have the reach to access more games.
Yeah, think of it as the Indy 500. You know, they have the thing called the bum day, and we had our own bum day. So sorry, the games that didn't get the cut.
Yeah, it was a whole ass conversation. That
There was fires, there was riots, but
you have to imagine that, but you won't have to imagine when we cross that bridge, when we figure out the other categories. But this is not that episode. This is the episode we just talk about the top 30 games, the best 30 games of 2023 according to these three chuckleheads. So I mean, it's not gonna be the best list for
Yeah.
you, but I mean, have a look and see if your gaming taste align with us or not, and use it to your liking. Anyways, different opinions can be fun.
yes.
Okay, without further ado, Daniel, can you read out the first game that we're gonna talk
On our
about?
top 30? Alright.
Yes.
On the, so we will be going on alphabetically. So we shall start on A. By A, I mean space for the amount. Oh my god, that is a terrible pun, but I'm going with that. It's by Mojiken Studios, and it is published by Toge Productions. It is a fully Southeast Asian team, bit for both of them, and it was released back in January, way back in January. That was like 11 months ago.
Way back.
And the fact that they are still here, they've made the cut, is a sign that this game is really good, like one of the best. So anything to add, guys?
It's a good representation of a perspective that may have not been like represented in the world stage.
Yes.
The fact that I saw one tweet of one person playing the game and was surprised that in this game, kids or rather teens, high school students, can go to a shop somewhere and buy cigarettes.
Oh yeah.
Wow, you can do that?
Yeah.
I mean, hush, yeah. But yeah, is it real thing?
Yeah, you need your connections, man. Like you need the pakcik tepi jalan, the pakcik. Just you be good with them, they will give you anything.
You won't get this sort of like very specific you say cultural representation if you are not from that place. It's so
Yes.
specific. It's very specific, and this is the sort of things that we should celebrate in games more. And the fact that the current game development community is growing in this region that we are in is a very positive step forward. And yeah, good for a space for the Unbound to be. I think this will be this year's coffee talk. In a way, this is the game that people worldwide will know about. That is made from Southeast Asia. Oh yeah, actually, what's this game about? Even short description.
short description. So it is a story about Raya and her best friend. I think it's Pew. Pew. I forgot the name, but the other guy. But essentially, it is a story of the girl receiving the powers, and it's you, the protagonist. Up to you to help her discover the powers. Is meanwhile, there's another B-side story where you met with this little girl who I think also has the same power, but she doesn't appear in the A side story. So essentially, there's a dual story by for your protagonist to uncover, and it's really good. Like, I don't want to spoil it, but it is like good twists and turns. I would recommend playing it. Yeah, that's what it.
Yeah. We should. Yeah, that's the one thing we should have mentioned on the top of the show is that we also have prepared some side awards.
Yes.
Yeah, this is like fun little, small little, you say nuggets of commendation that is either awarded very specifically so that this game can win an award. Essentially.
In the case it doesn't win, yeah.
You know that hard drive article? Yeah, this is basically that thing. We are making it hyper specific for that particular game just for it to win something. And also, but nothing too mean spirited lah. But it's so for a space for non-bound. What does this game has a side award for?
Yes, it wins the Gamer Matters C Best Award. Which I think like if you're like from the other states out of Southeast Asia, you will not get that joke because it's a pun. It's a very funny pun.
It also works visually and audio. You need to. It requires explanation if you're not from Southeast Asia.
Yes.
But Sea Best Awards, yeah, you get the fish like space for the amount. Yeah, the best games made from this region, for sure, this year. So what's next?
All right. So we now move on. Against the flow, against the storm, maybe, because that's our second game. By the developers of Area Might Games and published by Who the Horse. This game was released actually quite recently. But well in between our cut-off date of December, which is 8th December.
Yeah, I think this is the last game.
The last game.
Date. Yeah, our cut-off date for this year is December 8th. I think it was supposed
Last
to be.
day.
It was the last big major AAA game release. That game is not here, but this one is. So, anyways, Against the Storm. Okay, you've seen City Builders, kan? You've seen
Yep.
also roguelites or roguelikes.
Yes.
Two different things, but whatever lah. How about a roguelite city builder?
Interesting.
It's a combination of two different genres that I don't think would have worked on paper, but somehow the execution makes it so palatable. It is an engaging war where you're not fighting enemies, or you're not fighting where you say literal enemies. You are fighting for survival. You are fighting to feed the people. You're fighting to make sure people have clothes and homes to live in while in a world of eternal storm. A lot of the way it works wonderfully is that it manages to make the benign of city building, which if you play enough city builders, you'll know that there is a specific flow to build a city in a specific game, kan? You sometimes just it's a good game to even just zone out and just okay, do this thing, do it over and over again, just to chill. But against the storm, make sure that you are not chilling. You have to make decisions every second. You have to figure out, is it now the right time to like open a new region, discover new stuff, and get the debuffs, or you should like figure out, should I get this unlock or this other unlock? Which one do I want to prioritize? So there's a lot of intricate systems that works that makes the city building more engaging, but it doesn't like make you feel like, because the other thing that some people may feel weird about city builders being because city builders usually are just games that just continues over, internally. As long as you want to play it, the game's continuing. But I guess the Storm offers a different way of making a city builder to be a session, similar to how Frostpunk pioneers narrative focused city building kan. Against the Storm works like that, but in the form of using roguelike elements. So you have a run where you just do a city for like maybe an hour, and that's it. You won't be looking at that city again. Start fresh, and you won't say, "Oh man, I have to start from zero." You say, "Yes, I want to start from zero, so I can figure out another way to win this game." There are multiple paths that you can take, and what you say, the many different decisions thanks to the roguelike elements actually makes it like super, what you say, it really makes you want to play more and discover how other builds that you can. Let's say here, in one of the things that you can do in Against the Storm, and you have to make we say raincoats. Raincoats require things, a material called cloths, and cloths require a building that can manufacture this. So now you have to figure out, if you want to make raincoats, you have to make sure that during your random card pool, you will get a building that can make either cloths and raincoats. Some of the buildings can do multiple items, so and at different level of we say production quality lah. So maybe you want the 3-star rain cloths at the cost of the other items that they can produce are 1-star, so terrible at other things other than raincoats. But uh if you have another pool and say, okay, I don't have the 3-star raincoats, the one keeps appearing is the 1-star raincoat, might as well use it. That's your only choice. Now you figure out how to make that work. You have to figure out how to make it work. So there are many different decisions to just make that same thing, but because of the RNG, you have to take different paths, and figuring that out is satisfying in its own way. So that's what keeps it Against the Storm engaging. This game, we award 2 side awards. One is one is the very interesting Manga Sambal Belacan award, which again, to those who outside Southeast Asia, if you haven't seen mango shrimp paste sambal, look it up. But essentially, this is supposed to be the odd flavor pairing award, the banana and pesto for you lot. Because I don't think that these two genres work together, but somehow it did. It did, and it is wonderful. And the other is, without remorse, without any second decision, this is the best city builder of this year. This game has been in early access for like 2-3 years. I think it was
2-3 years.
Oh, that's quite a time.
and this game has been like updated like every 2 weeks. So, and now it's 1.0. It's on Game Pass and whatever, and go try it out. It is an interesting game that would have gotten more awards if you release early. This is mostly people already like move on to the next year, already have their own awards already settled. But yeah, Against the Storm is the top contender. One of the most fun I have had this year.
Alright. Next is I guess we gotta write out our own story because it has been 13 years in the waiting, and that is Remedy Entertainment Alan Wake 2. Where do we begin with this one? It's Okay, so first up, they got a
It's not
publisher.
supposed to happen.
It's
this
not
game.
supposed. Yeah, that's exactly. It's not supposed to happen.
And we have to thank Epic Games Publishing for that.
Yeah, ironically, we have to thank Epic Games
Whatever you feel about
nudging
Epic
it.
Games, they have
They
funded
paid for
this.
it. Yeah, they funded it. Yeah. Because they were Control. Yeah, they also funded Control because Control
Control was 505 games.
505. Oh yeah, but they also released first on Epic Games when it would launch. Did they?
Oh yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
true.
so yeah. So this is the story, the return of Alan Wake. And it's an interesting story. Like it is one of the best stories that you can see in the video game medium, as like one of the two games that has escaped the boundaries of video games and into the what's it called, artistic, the casual mindset, I guess, the casual public, because this game rocks. Like the both the A story, the Alan story, and the Saga story, our new character Saga, like it is I think, and because this is Remedy's stuff, because they have doing this meta stuff, like talking about universes, multiple universes, like entities and all. And Alan Wake 2 is them learning from all of these previous games, like the first Alan Wake, Quantum Break, Control. And then, okay, what sticks, what makes Alan 2 work is all of those combined together. Like if you're seeing this one small game watch show that you have seen that people were raving about, talking about how little time that they have given to the developer to thank their fans or your coworkers. Which I really love. This stuff I'm talking right now is now longer than what that game show has given them.
Oh yeah.
Time to talk. Yeah, we've already reached the limit.
I mean, please wrap it up. Sign has been flashing for a while when I thought.
That's why, but no, we shall keep going on, because if you've seen that show, you may have seen that one dance, that musical number. That was, I think, if you're not in the video game spirit, you can, or you haven't seen the Alan Wake series at all, you might think like, what is this? Why are they performing a musical number? Don't worry, that's part of the game. And I think like that's the best part of Alan Wake. Like, it subverts what you're expecting, a horror thriller game, and then they just go, oh, I'm sorry, it's time for a musical. And you will enjoy it. And like I can talk all day, but I think we still have like 26 more games to talk about. And just right now, just play Alan Wake 2. Yes, I don't care what price is it. Is it full price? Is it digital? Never mind. You have to play Alan Wake 2.
What the side awards for Alan Wake 2?
Oh yes, then they have also won our coveted Silent Hill Award for the Alan Wake side, because dang, a man who is haunted by his past, and he has to face his devils, his all vices. Where have I seen this before? 4 times, in fact. So yeah, congrats to Alan Wake 2 for winning our side award for Best Silent Hill game, or just Best Silent Hill. Yes. Now, we shall now shuffle along into some armor, because we are going to talk about Armored Core 6, The Fires of Rubicon. Or is it just Fires of Rubicon? I'm not sure.
Fires of Rubicon.
Ah, yes.
Not to be confused with Ace Combat 6 Fires of Liberation.
Oh, yeah! Yeah. They have this... by the same publishers as well. That's the funniest thing. They love those words, and fires. That is a good, like, the fires within. That's why they love using it.
Published by Bandai Namco, released on August 25th. From this familiar developer called From Software.
Some indie Japanese developers. I'm pretty sure their
Small
peak.
time.
Yeah, small time. Their peak is that old game called Cookie and Cream. Pretty sure.
But some would argue that before Cookie and Cream, it was Armored Core.
Yes.
And that is why Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, appearing out of not out of nowhere, it was leaked and whatever, like, kan? But really, the existence of this game in 2023 is such a, what you say, a nice detour from the usual games that are being released. Like, it's always kind of, you can expect a triple A game can play like, can a big budget triple A game can feel like they have a, what you say, it kind of gets a bit more homogeneous these days. You can expect familiar things from any kind of games from any kind of developer
Mm-hmm.
who are like targeting this skill of you say, of video game, kan. But Armored Core 6 isn't doesn't want to be an open world action adventure. This is still a mission based game. This is still a game where the missions can last like 2 to 3 minutes. This is still a game where you don't see human models. You just see portraits and people voicing the characters. They are all within the robot, so to speak. You don't see a 3D human model. So the fact that this game still feels like the old days, the old B game days of From Software, but have been executed and polished to the From Software of today, which is now considered a AAA developer, is such a good way to like introduce more people to what I consider an underrated gem. Some people who have said this game is mid 7 out of 10s, and maybe these days it still have that sort of connotation. But when more people gave it a chance, just like how Demon Souls, where more people give that game a chance, they've discovered the beauty of, yeah, in this case of Armored Core, the beauty of just getting into a giant robot and shoot things. It is so satisfying to actually figure out a combination of parts, balancing your RPG stats, the many numbers that you have to see going up and down, spend that like 20 to 30 minutes even just to do a mission that lasts like 10 minutes long tops. It sounds so ridiculous these days, especially without context, kan? But it is so rewarding to just tinker with the to make your special mecha feels as special as it can be. Put on your weirdest color scheme, your weirdest we say liveries and decals. Make it a Megas SLR cosplay, or make it a Peter Griffin cosplay if you want. You can. Or whatever you say, you can. But when it comes to the action, it is slick. It is punishing. It is kind of the what you say, the Souls likeness has been rubbing off. Hello, Filtercopter, Rubicopter.
Oh my god.
So yeah, not everybody might have a good time with it at first, but once it clicks, just like any Soulsborne game, like any From Software game even, kan, you will eventually find a game that you will not find in any other place. Not many games are like this. But Armored Core 6 say, yeah, we should we should
Hey.
exist.
Saying hell yeah, we need the filter.
You know what? Yeah, Armored Core 6 didn't miss. It can fly. Even with borrowed wings, it can fly. Side odds for Armored Core 6, it is the best game with no human models. Very on the nose, but it is very interesting to see that most games these days require the human element to be present. Especially even just like where you say for promo images, kan, you have to put a picture of a person or something like that, kan. Otherwise you become a car game where you just display a car in a weird way. okay, person, car, person. But for Armored Core, okay, now we can add a mecha, which is not a person, but it's still humanoid, so it counts. But the fact that the a lot of the voice performance carries most of the story. Daydream has a good story. I consider it a good story, and it's only carried by voiceovers. The armored cores do not do the greedy. They cannot emote. Only you just see a portrait and the subtitle and the voice lines. Those are the ones that give people emotions once they reach the end boss or the different end bosses. So yeah, you can have a game without human models. Just make a game about robots or cars. And the other side award, easily lah, no contest. I mean, there's another mech game down there. We'll discuss later. But consider it all. The output of mecha games this year, which is a handful. Like
Yes.
you can count. It's not many. This is a niche. Armored Core is very easily mecha game of the year lah.
Mm-hmm.
So we shall now arrive towards a gate. You see a very big troll ahead of you. Do you roll for a perception check? I always wanted to say that.
Let's see. 5.
So the text goes out. We have failed. Anyway, we are talking about the hit, the surprise. I think for some, it's actually the surprising hit, and that is Larian Studios' Baldur's Gate 3, which came out of early access this September 6th, the same day as another game that's below the list, but we'll get to that. It is a isometric role-playing game, so basically, pause, think, go. Yes, it is those type of games, and you have to do red rules. Yeah, you have to do the net rules as well. Haha. Okay, so what do you guys think? What do you think of Baldur's Gate 3?
Finally, CRPGs are cool again.
Yeah.
We can
Almighty.
we can now talk about CRPGs in a cool way again. It's been a while since who's the last first team that spearheaded a very popular CRPG that have hit the mainstream. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute. Though we can't say that to Larian when it comes to CRPG. They are well invested in CRPGs. They have made a lot of these sort of games before in the Divinity series.
Divinity, yes.
And the fact that what's it called, Wizards of the WOTC, Wizards of the Coast, has given them carte blanche. So essentially, do whatever for Baldur's Gate 3, and yep, there's your results. It is one of the most, I think, like one of the most best RPG games that you can play on the market right now, like on all platforms, on all 3 platforms, so PC, Xbox, PlayStation. Like, there's this one video, if you guys want to see, that was about this YouTuber just talking to you the many ways you can solve one encounter. Like, that's like 20-ish 30-ish ways to just handle one encounter. That's how good it is. And that was, I'm pretty sure that was in Act 1. So that means the tutorial for the tutorial levels, essentially. That's how good it is. Like, tutorial encounter, not even the final boss. It's just an encounter, normal encounter, 30 ways.
I cannot imagine the scripting logic for this for Baldur's Gate 3. Holy hell.
Yeah, the best part. Yeah. Like, what you think, what you as a player think, they have counted for it.
I remember something about putting explosive barrels in a village of goblins or something like that, and it turns out as you expected lah.
Yep.
The systems are working. You do cause havoc, and you have to grapple with the consequences later lah.
Whoops! I have killed a whole entire village of goblins. Whoops! I shall be in jail. I think I can give you one example of my favorite encounter. So there was this one place in the second act where a dwarf is stuck in an explosive area, like one wrong step and they explode. So you know what I did? I've just learned, one of my characters, my party members has learned this one spell called resurrection. So okay, let's say you, the vampire man, go, just blow up the damn thing. We can revive you later on. That you want me to sneak to all this? Nah, vampire man, go, explode everything. We will revive you and the dwarf later on. Okay, and it works. And I love that, like, oh, they know. That's the best part. They know. This game is also like, this is one of the two games that I'm talking about, that the Alan Wake and Baldur's Gate, like they have exceeded what people think of video games. Like this creativity is amazing, and I love it so much. So for that, they shall win our side awards. They have won two for side awards. They have not only won our coveted Deus Ex Award for Best Immersive Sim. Because goddamn, 30 ways for one encounter is just ludicrous in this era.
And yes, I consider CRPGs as immersive sims.
Okay,
Yes.
I was about to ask that question like 10 minutes ago. Can you consider this immersive sim? Then yes.
Yes,
Yes, it is.
especially Larian games, they are very systems heavy. It's a sandbox, and itulah the best description, the best example I can give you is the back in the Divinity Original Sin game. You can talk to an NPC, and because this game technically has you like have to play two players, you can have that NPC being talk, and then another player character can can sneak around to an unauthorized area that would have been like that NPC that you are talking around would have said no, you cannot go, but they are currently talking to another character. So I mean, it works.
It works.
Yeah. I mean, you would do that in real life. I mean, may work also. Not that I recommend that. No.
And also, they have also won award that's due to our heart, which is the best ever Stadia game. Rest in peace, Stadia. Have a good rest. You were, you died literally as cloud gaming became popular.
We have to put this here just so all that we all remember collective as a community, as a gaming community, that Baldur's Gate 3 was announced on
Stadia.
a Google Stadia Connect event. That was when the whole world discovered that there is a new Baldur's Gate. This could have been the killer app for Stadia, but
They died literally 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 to 4 months before Xbox Game Pass Cloud came on.
Stadia died this year, kan? Stadia died this year. So
Yep. Oh my god.
for that, Baldur's Gate 3 will remain unchallenged, best ever.
Yes. All right. So let's dive in deeper into our list for our next game, and this one is quite a controversial choice, but we have played it and we like it. It's called Dave the Diver. It's by the developers at Mint Rocket, and also published by them, but they have a dark side behind them. Oh man.
Say dark side, but rather that their what you say,
Hidden side.
The hidden side.
their self-declaration as independent game may need to be scrutinized even more, is what we say. But yeah, this is a label called Mint Rocket that is under Nexon. So just to know, but they are behaving like an indie dev, operate like an indie dev, but technically not, because budget. They have the
Budget
Nexon
moment.
money. But okay,
The Korean one, yeah.
putting that aside, Dave the Diver is a game that you have thought to have exist sometime during the PS2 days, early 2000s. In terms of this game keeps on giving you content after content after content. Like okay, remember those games where you have a in-game calendar system, so you have your day and night cycle, kan? I would point to specifically the Harvest Moon slash Story of Season series, where
Mm.
the game introduced new mechanics at a period of time after in-game calendar day. Dave the Diver does that trick so that you discover a lot of different kinds of gameplay as you keep diving deep into the ocean. The main gameplay loop is that you are fishing for fish.
Fish, yeah, you're fishing for fish, yes.
But in an unconventional way, for whatever reason, you have to use a harpoon. So yeah, it's basically you fishing underwater for underwater. And you also carry a gun for reasons. There's a
Don't worry
boss
about
fight and whatever kan. Okay, so that's your daytime activity. And then the night time, you also part-time handling the sushi restaurant. So you playing a little bit of Diner Dash where you have to serve food, make sure you have the, what's called, not the wasabi. Yeah, the wasabi kan. You eat sushi
Yeah,
with
it's
kan.
wasabi, yeah.
So you have to like
should do
grate the not daikon, grate the radish, wasabi radish thing kan, to prepare,
Yes.
give them drinks and whatever. So you have to do your night shift, the midnight rush of food service. So you have to do that. But then it keeps getting deeper and deeper. Okay, so now you don't need to just fish using your harpoons. You can also farm fish, have a fish farm, go and breed fishes. And then you have to consider the sushi restaurant to be successful because you want money. So when you have money, you can buy more upgrades. You have to raise up the ranking of your restaurant. So you have to also do another different boss encounter, which is the food review critics. Food critics reviews. So you have to impress them also now. And talking to the people who dines in on the regular will also open to different side quests. Okay, and then you dive deeper, and then you start going into boss fights, like for real boss fights. Dude, I will not describe what kinds of monstrosity that awaits you under the sea, but you can imagine. And then you dive deeper, and then suddenly, now you're going into the mythical side of things. Now you have to meet sea people. No, not Southeast Asia. I literally mean people under the
Actual sea
sea.
people.
Actual sea people. Uh, like mermaids, something like that, kan? And then down there, they also have other mini games to encounter for you to like figure out. So the deeper you go, the more things you get to do. It just doesn't stop, and that's why people like are hooked, pun intended, on Dave the Diver. It just keeps on going, keeps on going. There's just more stuff to do, which is interesting because the concept itself, the game itself is simple, but it just keeps hooking you up into like, yo, we have something new to offer. Yo, look at this thing we have done. Yo, try out this thing. Why not? So it just keeps on going like that. So that's why the Diver was the summer hit of 2023, you may say. The game has been in early access for a while. I think like last year or last 2 years, we were there early on with the early access impressions, and back then I think I put it on my written impressions. I did say that I would not be surprised that if this game blows up, this game has potential. It could be a great game that people have yet to discover. And now that streamers and content creators discover it, like, yo, everybody's playing Dave the Diver. Yeah, controversy aside about whether this game is an indie game or not, this is a good game. This is a good game. And on that note, side awards.
Oh yeah. So about that, Dev won the the best not indie game.
Yo, we'll have that discussion about best indie game later. Tune in next episode. But the gist of it is that why we have this label is that this game have that indie spirit, the devil's indie spirit.
This is not a true indie.
Yeah, Sally.
Some may just describe it as vibes. So, no. I mean, indie spirit is more than just vibes. I'm not describing. We're not describing indie game as either indie spirit as just pixel art. No. It's more than that. And Deep Devil is more than that. It's very much counterculture against. It's going against a lot of mainstream game design, and it's not. It's not terrible. No, that's not how you say it. It's actually good for it.
So next we shall now go into the city of LA for this very interesting zombie game. Because it is Dead Island 2, developed by Deep Silver Dambus Studios, and published by Deep Silver. This game has the most interesting backstory in any game on this list so far. Because this was announced a decade ago, 2013.
Dang. That's a long time.
Exactly. And they change developers, they change I think 3 times. They changed developers 3 times. So it was Techland. Then Techland got kicked. Then it was Jaeger. Yeah, and then Jaeger got kicked. And finally it lands on then it was Stumo Digital. Then that one also got kicked in 2017. And then finally they have changed hands to the current studio, Deep Silver's Dambuster Studios. And finally we have the game out. And it's pretty solid. After all these times, it's actually pretty solid. One of the best thing about this game, man, like this and the next game after this, is that they have a very good system. I think they call it the meme system. So basically, if you have like the katana or the axe, you can chop enemies into pieces. And that I think it was part of I think the part of their pitch of the game. Oh yeah, you can cut off individually like one by one, and yeah, you still can. Even on old gen, on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So pretty good engine. For me, like this is one of my picks personally because I love actually playing this. This one is a weird one. It's the weirdo, the quirky game that was announced a decade ago, and I didn't like the first Dead Island, the first two Dead Islands, so Dead Island 1, Dead Island Riptide, but this one it just clicks. It's that good. It has the story. It's quite funny. Like you are a survivor in LA. Like oh no, the U.S. Army has bought people out, but you're stuck there. And then you see, oh no, everyone else is stuck there. So you have the usual Hollywood people, and somehow they've put in influencers as well, influencer that somehow survived the zombie infection. And the weird thing, it fits because it's LA, it's Los Angeles. If you've seen Grand Theft Auto, yeah, same. It's like the parody is actually it makes sense. And it's all wrapped up in the zombie game, for God's sake. That's so weird. What else I want to talk about? It's one of those games, yeah. Like, if this was in the era of, I want to say PS2, it will fit right in. Like, this is one of those games, like, PS2 era, early PS3 era, like, this, it still has that weird experimental, like, feel. Like even though it is part of the Dead Island series, like it is the sequel to Dead Island because you will meet like the characters of the first game. They're also trying to survive. They have somehow one of them stumbled into LA, where they also immediately land into another zombie apocalypse. So yeah, they have the quickie like, oh yeah, it's funny. We're not taking it seriously, which I really like, and that's why it's in the top 30. And also for the bonkers ass backstory kan, they deserve our side award of two Hell and Back Medal of Honor, because my goodness, like when you get parodied by your sister company kan, go Simulator 3 parody you 5 years on, you wouldn't survive that. But no, they're here. Like hot dang, you are here.
And decent even. Good.
God,
Great.
good.
Some may
Yeah.
say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Deep Silver said they have exceeded their expectations as well. So that's how surprising it was. But so then, speaking of maiming and hacking and slashing, we we have the next game on our list, which is the remake of the original Dead Space game. This time, under Motive Studios, the folks who have made Star Wars Squadron, which is a really good underrated game, and it's also published by EA. That came out earlier in January as well.
Yeah, 27th. Very early.
Very early, like, yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah. So yeah. Okay, for those who like have listened to some of our podcasts, Dead Space is a personal, like it's a deeply personal favorite of mine when it comes to game franchises. Okay, a bit of backstory. I started to play the original Dead Space back in 2008. So when I was in Form 1 of secondary school, so first year secondary school. So uh the thing, okay, I went to okay, this was during outing because I went to a boarding school. And then okay, this outing time I went to cyber cafe. And then okay, what games do I play? And then I saw one of my friends, he's struggling with one of the earlier parts of Dead Space, the first Dead Space, where he needs to uh hook like a hook a machinery to a crane or something, and then by shooting stasis. But he's struggling because he forgot that he can like shoot the stasis slow down thing. And I was like, I can do better than him. What's this game?
What's this game?
I was like, it's stressing, you know. I watched him for like a full like 5 to 10 minutes, I think, just struggling with that small part. I'm like, God dang it. I probably can do better than him. And it started. So yeah, I played that space from then on. So back to the game at question. Dead Space 2023. It's a remake of the original Dead Space of 2008. Yeah,
Yep, that's
yeah.
it. Same year
So
it came out.
2000. Yeah, same year that I played. It's a full remake. It's not a remaster or a refresh something. It's a full remake. Like like probably a whole new engine, all graphics, ray tracing, all the good stuff of 2023 game technology. So when it comes to the storyline, even it's still the same story. We play as Isaac Clarke, the protagonist, uh, on a repair mission to USG Ishimura, uh, responding to a distress call. And then when Isaac and the team arrives, they found out that it's actually overrun by alien creatures. So, and that's the gist of it. Like you as Isaac Clarke have to survive and find out what makes this uh alien I forgot the
Infection?
word.
I think it's
Infection
infection.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, and survive. Yeah, and it's a when it comes to, let's say, remake and remaster, it can be a bit of hit and miss. So maybe okay, it misses here, okay, some improvement over there, but for Dead Space, it's an improvement all around when it comes to storyline, when it comes to graphics, when it comes to uh, uh Yeah, story and graphics mostly, and also audio especially, because the original game was in 2008, right? So 2008, 2023. How far is the gap? It's like 15 years.
15, yep, 15
15
years.
years. So a lot of change when it comes to like game technologies, game technology. What else? Oh yeah, the biggest change in Dead Space is Isaac Clarke is now a voice character. So instead of being mute, like he cannot say anything, just being a like a errand boy, go here, go there. Isaac, come here. Now he can just, oh no, I'm not going there. So now Isaac is a voice character at which the the voice actor for Isaac in Dead Space 2 and Dead Space 3, Gunter, I forgot his name again.
Mm,
Isaac Clarke,
yeah.
voice actor. Gunner Wright, yeah. Gunner Wright reprised his role.
Oh, the one that sounds similar.
Yeah.
Same guy, nice.
So he voiced Isaac Clarke in Dead Space 2 and Dead Space 3. And for the Dead Space remake, he sort of like retroactively reprised his role.
You could say like, oh, this is what he should have said
Yeah, he
in the
should have
first
said
game.
it. Yeah. When it comes to graphics, like wholly improved. Of course, like whole new model, whole new textures, and when especially the lighting, because the old games like from Xbox 360 era,
Yep.
PS3,
Mm-hmm.
so it can be a bit weak when it comes to contrast and stuff and lighting. But for 2023, of course, we have ray tracing and like we have OLED screens, so they really maximize the horror experience with playing with light and darkness. So the stress just increase like tenfold as compared to the previous game. Also, yeah, surround audio. So like you can hear like the scuttling, screaming, or all the mechanical noises of spaceship falling apart. It's just an upgrade all around. Yeah. This is not a lazy remake or remaster. This is a labor of love. Yeah.
Alright. So for that, for the fact that Mr. Isaac Clarke is now has a voice, he wins our Gordon Freeman Award for
Yay.
for being able to talk.
Now he can complain.
Now you can complain. If you haven't heard Isaac Clarke complain in the second third game, now you can. so so now let's dive right into the thick of it and rally on, because the next game on the list is another EA game, but this time by their sports division, and it is EA Sports WRC. It's their first license title with the WRC, or the World Rally Championship, and they literally went out the gate with this one, like very good. Handling is pretty good. The stages are accurate to the ones that the actual WRC driver raced this year, and there's one thing that I like, that I think many people also mentioned as well, that you can create an actual, yeah, your own car. Think of it like a kit car. Like think of it as a garage car essentially, because you get to pick your, where do you put your engine. You get to pick is it front wheel drive or rear wheel drive, and you get to pick like from a selection of badges, seats, front ends. All of it are in your fingertips, essentially. And the driving aspect itself of WRC is kind of like Dirt, but more casual, because the Dirt series, well, Dirt Rally 2.0, for those for familiar with the Dirt series, is very simulation. Like all the bumps, all the jumps are feel like that. But for WRC, they had to tone it down a bit so that normal people like me can drive it. And yeah, they've made it work. And the aspect of like building your own car, yeah, and then going into career mode where you can race that set car against the likes of Toyota, likes of Ford, and Citroen, because why not? you can you can beat them. And I do like how they handle it. Like, it's very nice, it's very casual, even though it is driving for upwards to 20 minutes sometimes because the stages are that long. But that is the beauty of rally racing. And for that, they have gotten our side award for best pimp my ride. Because damn, you can pimp the car to the best of your abilities. Like, go nuts.
Dog, I heard you like your Momo seats. So put the
So,
Momo seats in the Momo steering wheel, dog.
and the Momo dash as well. Yes. ah, I love, like, that is the best aspect of it. Like, build a car. Best aspect of racing games. Like, I wish more racing game does that, but due to licensing, yeah, you can't.
The curse of license schemes.
Unless you are EA, where yeah, we can do that. we have the budget. Right. So speaking of that, speaking of budgets, so we shall now go to the big one. Well, one of the big ones for Team Japan, and it's about this is the 16th Final Fantasy. Dang, how many more Final Fantasies are we going to have?
I don't know, man. They haven't finalized that fantasy. Wink, wink to the people who have played Final Fantasy 16. No context more than that shall be explained to you. So Square Enix and their flagship series, the Final Fantasy series, and is the couple of mainline titles have been a bit rocky.
Yep.
Not that they are terrible, but when you put that Final Fantasy name into the on top of a freaking pedestal that seemingly cannot be it's way too high for other games to follow up. So when one game or two games have not achieved, when you say not majority consensus, but the not fully applaud as the critical acclaim, just like your Final Fantasy 7, your Final Fantasy 9, your Final Fantasy 10 kan. So it's been a pressure to see, can Final Fantasy 16 be the big one to be good without any more explanations, good on launch, not good after the updates and DLCs. And thankfully, this time around with this specific team, I forgot the name, but they are a special. I think this team has a name, production number whatever lah. But for those who know, it's basically the same team that worked on Final Fantasy 14. So a lot of the same personnel sharing there, and people do know about that critical acclaim Final MMORPG with how many level of trial or whatever free there. That
You know that
line.
one.
You know that line. I actively avoid that line. I hate it. But anyways.
Oh yeah, it's created by Creative Business Unit number 3.
Yeah, specific name studio for that, which is interesting because those names are usually just internal for internal use only. But this one,
no.
they have a full logo and everything.
We are Team 3. You know who we are. Everybody knows who we are.
But it's not just this game having to be good. They're also trying to be bold and ambitious. Like, they say, no, we're not trying to just make an RPG, we're trying to make an action game that's also an RPG. I mean, they sell it as an action RPG, but to me, the end product feels more like this is more of a character action game with RPG elements on the side. Because the character action gaminess of this game is very much character action. You do combos, you have your high scores that you can do in an arcade mode. You have your linear levels that plays like a Devil May Cry level. It has set pieces galore. It has boss fights where, and most of the time, you are basically alone. Well, Clive and his dog Toggle, which you have some sort of direct control, but other party members are basically just there for the story. And speaking of story, this game tries to tell you an epic, a grand story with I would say a decent amount of world building. I argue some of the parts may not be as good, but it is like at least in the first impression when you go into this world called Velistia for the first time and you discover, holy hell, this place is terrible. But I want to learn more. In a way, Game of Thrones does it. It's doing the not macabre, depressing, dark, high fantasy.
Yes. The Game of Thrones.
Yeah, basically Game of Thrones lah. If you want to have a shorthand for it, but yeah, it's trying to do that with even with the political games that are being played in the when you look at the bigger picture of the state of the world. So a lot of that. And speaking of bigger picture and bigger, the fights are bigger also. Like they don't hold any punches this time around. Okay, so the Final Fantasy is known for the summons and the big monsters. Why not for this game? They decided that hey, why not we control the monsters directly, the giant monsters, the kaiju's, essentially. So you have monster. They call it icons. So icon versus icon battles, which are like gigantic in scope. Is it gigantic? I'm looking for astronomical in size even. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. So they don't hold any punches. This game is going big with all their punches. Essentially, they try to be bold. They attempt to tell a grand tale. They have pivoted into full character action. I argue most for the most part, this game executes it all as intended. On that point, we shall reveal the side awards for this game. Final Fantasy 16 walks away with the best Godzilla game, which is a carryover from last year's side awards. We could have called it just best kaiju game because technically that's correct, but look for last year's podcast episode for context why we didn't call it best kaiju game. And the other one, this is I haven't discussed it with you guys, but I just put it in the in our spreadsheet. Yeah, the British Award.
Oh yeah, the British.
The people here have a lot of British accents.
A ball.
Oh my god.
I'm not too familiar with the British accents, but there are a lot of British accents, and the way it is written is like properly written from. It's not like trying to localize a Japanese script into and then trying to like put flowery words into that. This is feels like it's written for a British citizen to talk like British peasants in a way. So yeah, if it's authentic lah, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, if you like your British accents,
Yeah.
Or you just like Clive because you know people like Clive. He is a very handsome
He's a
person.
good boy.
He's a
He's a good boy.
Shine light to him. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll discuss that later lah. But overall, as a video game, Final Fantasy 16 is decent. One of the biggest spectacles of the year.
So now we shall now set our sights to engage in battle once more because the next game on the list is another early release, and that is Fire Emblem Engage. One of Nintendo's releases this year, one or two in our list right now, and is by Intelligent Systems, which if you're not keeping in touch with the Fire Emblem series, this is their return because I think they took a year, no, a break from making Fire Emblem because Three Houses was under another developer, but now they're back, and they have, in a sort of way, revolutionized anime chess. That's what they usually call Fire Emblem games, just anime chess. And like I think like one thing that I like personally about Fire Emblem is that it has, it is a pretty good strategy game. There's a reason why it's also part of the best strategy award for the other show, that the other Jeff show, and like not many people played it because it looks anime. Like you can see, that's the intro, that's the outro. You know what it is. But for Fire Emblem, it is, people do not know that Fire Emblem, when they go hard because there's permadeath. There's you technically, like, if one person in your party dies, they are dead for good. That's it. They're dead. You cannot. You can reverse a save, but it goes against the spirit of the Fire Emblem series, like, because they're dead, so you have to move on. And that makes like the matches, all of the levels that you fight, more tactical because, oh yes, I have to take care of my units, and I have to take care of my companions because there's also a companion system where if you play with him or her much, you may make a bond relationship, and then you can fight for double damage because you can fight with each other. Like, there's so many mechanics wrapped up into this one, like, this weird little strategy game that rose to claim like a decade ago, like 10 years ago, back when Fire Emblem Awakening came out. And this is them. This is the original creators, intelligent system, just flexing like, yeah, we took a break. Here's what we did. And now everything is real time. Like, yeah, like back then it wasn't real. I think like it was like tactical based, but now you can play real time. Like, you can immediately go there, like, actual chess, or I guess the more simpler term, XCOM ish. Itulah. And I like so many things, like so many mechanics we can do. There, I think someone already did a thesis on Fire Emblem and their systems, so I won't talk much about that.
You can say they do have intelligent systems being made there. I couldn't resist. It's on there. I'm looking at the spreadsheet.
Like, it was just the name of the spreadsheet. It's like, ooh, tempting. But yes, Fire Emblem Engage deserves to be in the top 30 because it is the anime chess. Like, there's nothing else. There's nothing beats that in their field. And for that, they've also won our best anime game by default side award, because the rest are different. There's a different all. So congrats, Fire Emblem. So now we shall parkour our way out of Fire Emblem and into the next game in our list, which is Ghost Runners 2. Made by One More Level and published by Fire Games, that released quite recently as well, on October. It is the sequel to the first Ghost Runner, which was a pretty good underrated gem. And they have really innovated in the second one game, right, Mac?
Oh yeah. Do you still like first person parkour and first person platforming? Yeah, that's here. Do you
Yes.
like your one hit kill and one hit die
Yes.
punishing mechanic? Yeah, it's still here. Okay, but what about motorcycles?
Ooh, interesting. Tell me more.
Yeah. What about wingsuits?
Ooh.
So without spelling out too much, that Ghost Runner 2 is basically like, okay, we have nailed Ghost Runner. How far can we push? How far can we go? Why not try different things? They still have the very tight and well designed levels where when you first play it's fun, but then if you want to play it again, because at the end of the level you'll see, okay, this is my time right now, this is the squad time I have. Look at the leaderboards. Oh, this is the friend leaderboards. Oh no, my other friend. It's like 3 minutes faster than I can. So this game is built for speed running. It's still there, but they try a few things to like make it a bit more different and see what sticks. So you have customization systems where you have to slot in chips, where a lot of traits have like some of them have drawbacks, and you have to like do your Tetris inventory to make sure the chips uh unlocks the correct buffs, or because there are like specific places where it will trigger an additional bonus or whatever. So there's a lot of, for some reason, you have a strategic layer there. And then the later levels explore new tools that you can try out. As mentioned, there's a motorbike, and yes, you actually have an open world level, which is interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, figure that open world, but you also have to like do your one hit kill, one hit die encounters. Yeah, it is something. And then you have, if that's not even enough, there's also a roguelike mode built in. And yeah, this is a roguelike, as in you don't carry over progress when the run's over. So it's purely skill. With only like, okay, within the run you do get upgrades you can pick lah, but it's just a pure test of skill. Some of the levels can be just okay, do a parkour challenge. Some of the levels can be okay, now survive how many different enemies here. Okay, figure out how to survive. So yeah, Ghost Runner 2 is trying a lot of new things while still maintaining the appeal of the first game intact. As in, it is very much cyberpunk.
Yes.
It is dripping in cyberpunk. As in, like, it is always raining.
Yep.
At least in the city lah. Your protagonist and Jack Ghost Runner, as I like to call him. He is literally a Ghost Runner, so I'm not even wrong. Since he's a cyborg or something like that, his raspy robotic voice really reeks of, oh yeah, this is a cyberpunk protagonist. The music is synth heavy, synth wave, synth goth. It is all the synth wave playlists that you have on YouTube, man. It all has that. Even the brooding, moody, dark synth is also there. So yeah, it hits all the boxes that I consider a cyberpunk aesthetic. Yeah, Ghost Runner 2 is slick. For those who just want a game that is very specific in what it does. All I want is to be tested on if I can hit good, I can dodge good, and if I fail, I try again. Yeah, that's this game.
All right, time to hit the notes and get some good combos, because our next game on the list is a very interesting game that actually came out out of nowhere. But here we are. So we have Tango Gameworks Hi-Fi Rush, which is published by Bethesda and released like 25th of January, earlier this year. So yeah, it's again another January release that stays in our top 30. Pretty good showing there.
Can say we have recency bias if you are still thinking
Yes,
of last
January.
January got plenty of bangers. January, February. Damn.
Yeah.
And they stick on the list. Hi-Fi Rush is an aspect, and in a lot of ways unexpected. It is unexpected that the game was announced and was released, or as in the beast we call it a shadow drop.
Shadow drop.
And it was not expected that not only just a character action game, but a character action game with a rhythm component being tied to it, developed by, of all studios, Tango Gameworks. You don't expect that, because they basically they were typecasted as a horror game developer game. So, and then suddenly, hey, we know how to draw colors, bright colors, bright blue skies. Okay, and a very cheery, say, comic book, American comic book, Western comic book aesthetic, cell shaded.
Mhm.
And the fact that they figure out how to make a character action game tied to a music rhythm, and it is ingrained into almost every part of the game, to the point that you just looking around the world and stuff is animated on the beat. Your character will tap his foot on the beat, so that you will always you should find the rhythm. There are even accessibility options to make you visualize the beat, because the beat is so important to the feel of this game. Though that say you are not what you say, you still land your attacks even though you are pressing, you just mashing buttons not on the beat. So for the rhythmly challenged people out there, there are people like that. You are still not you say gatekeeper out from playing this game. You can still play this game. They have considered you guys also, despite it being, you know, very tied to music and matching the beat and all of that. This decent character action. You the fighting is good. The combos are good. And then the whole gimmick of having a rhythm being a core component also works. And then tie that all out with an actually earnest and funny writing in a time where people are questioning if video games can nail comedy or not. And here you have a good example of, yay, this is a game that can nail jokes, they can do jokes, and we will laugh at them rather than laugh at the game being terrible. So it come, all these confluences come at the right time. You don't expect a character action game to have a very impactful story, but here we are. For the side awards, we awarded Hi-Fi Rush for best use of the Prodigy. Yes, that the Prodigy song. You know that song. Invaders must die.
Yeah, that's one.
Again, we will discuss that bit later. I have a lot to say about that bit. And the other is best shadow drop. In fact, I reckon this game actually was for the better that it was just shadow drop. Hey, look at this game. Oh, this is cool game. Oh yeah, when can I play it? Now. What? It's on Game Pass. Excuse me? You don't have to be. There's no need to build the hype. The hype starts now.
So from building hype to building, building essentially your definition of literally being a magnet to danger. It is a very interesting entry in all this. This is one of the Vampire Survivor clones that actually caught our attention, and that is Holocure Save the Fans. It is by the folks at Key Animate. By folks, I mean literally two people. One Twitter user called Key, and I think it's one of their friends. Two people have made, I think, one of the best Vampire Survivor clones to date, and it's basically based on the VTuber agency Hololive and their subsidiaries. You know, Hololive English, Hololive Indonesia, and they have somehow tied together a pretty good balance between what's it called, Easter eggs and power, because the mechanics of it is that some of the characters that you play and collect is actually based on a stream of the previous VTuber. So I can give example. So let's say Ina from Holo En. She is a priestess. She is basically like otherworldly entity, and her special power is that she can literally turn everyone into her side, basically giving you a speed boost or a health boost. And I think like most recently the Vampire Survivor games finally have those, but technically Hollow Cure did that first. So yeah, and it's a very good game. Like it is your vampire survival or your, as we like to call it last year, because when they got the best trailblazer award, they are basically reverse bullet hell. You are the danger. You are getting giving but the enemies all of the things that they have to dodge and avoid, and it makes sense in a way. And in true of any fan game, it has all of the tropes, like the enemy tropes. Like you have a fishing mini game for some reason,
Ooh,
and
okay, that's best game. Best game.
best game. Yeah, they have fishing mini game, and also they also have gacha as well, because you can get either your character that you want, or like you can get alternate skins for your favorite character via gacha. And how do you earn that coin? By playing the game. See, most what they call ethical way to use gacha
which is without money,
without money to
without
play the
real
game.
money.
Nope. And yeah, I love it. Like I love this game. This is such a good vampire survivor clone, and for that they have been bestowed upon our best reverse bullet hell award, because yeah, it's a very good reverse bullet hell. It is the reverse Ikaruga or whatever your favorite shooter game is. Next, so why don't now we build up something up? Come on, Mac, let's build something, because we're going to go into a drive next on after this. Oh wait, because our next contestant is Lego 2K Drive. Wait, no, they create Vacuous Vision made this?
Yeah, that's the sports team.
Bruh, I thought they died. I genuinely thought they died. Anyway, carry on.
Did I get it wrong or something? Hold on, double check. Yes, I got it wrong. It was the other name. It was the 2K sports team.
Initial concepts, I think.
Concepts. Yeah.
Ah,
yeah,
we got.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you were right. They were dead.
Because I am the biased I am the biased visual concept.
And I kept confusing between the two.
Yeah, my
Even
character.
even in
I
the
am
depth, I still confused.
Yeah.
So yeah, visual
Yeah.
concepts. Yeah, the sports team, the 2K sports team, NBA 2K team, basically made a made a racing game with
Damn.
Legos,
Damn.
and it's actually fun straight out of the bed. And it's not like I'm judging it to Lego races, which are okay games for its time. But I mean, even be comparing with that, this is actually on par with your typical open world racing games.
Yes.
It's decent enough. It's very good. Of course, a lot of it, the appeal of it really carries from the whole use of the Lego IP lah. So you get to play with the brakes, you get to customize your car slash boot slash off-road car. Yeah, that's the three cars: car, off-road car, and boot. So you can customize them using actual Lego brakes that you can actually that are actual real brakes kan, and then you can connect them together. You can color them to however you like, and the racing itself is actually decent. Like the is we say it's arcade racing, drifting a lot, man. But the drifting mechanics feels good. It's decent. It's also kind of a kart racer in a way that there are power ups. Power ups are okay, but the AI is also like competitive, so you still can feel challenge when you play it in single player. But the fun of it all is really the Lego charm lah.
Yes.
Like exploring the weird world, just looking at the weird, we say interesting and fascinating creations made out of bricks, and they also carry a lot of the, you see, a lot of the that quote unquote Lego charm is based on basically the Lego movie. And by I mean Lego movie, I mean there's a lot of puns. They made one character which is a horse, and all that one line that the horse say in the text box is full of horse puns. They just cannot stop themselves from writing puns. It's too they know they have made too many puns and they kept going. They don't stop. They put the pedal to the metal when it comes to like figuring out word place and place it in various parts of the world. See what I did there. Ah. So yeah, in terms of the side awards, obviously, okay, it's not obvious lah because this I have to like cherry rig the word a bit to get okay lah the pun limited award. Yes, I definitely want it to be corny because that's how the puns can go because you know you keep going. They, you have to race a horse in a car and they keep making the joke about horsepower.
Of
Okay,
course.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, they have to do it. It's a slam dunk. You have to do it. You in that beat already, guys. So just go with it. So yeah, Lego 2K Drive, pretty decent racing game.
So now we shall now swing by over to a very nice, interesting. I guess no, it's not even Disney like. It's just Pinocchio like, because we are talking about Lies of P. It's by Neowitz at round 8. Released earlier in September 2019, and it
On
is
Game Pass.
yeah, it's also on Game Pass. Yes, it's one of the I think like one of the interesting soul bones of the year.
Yeah.
And when you guys, how is it, guys? I'm not a Soulblade fan, so I'm interesting to hear about this one.
Okay, so I played Lies of P, albeit like just a few hours, but it's how do I say? It's unashamedly bloodborne. That's the headline for Lies of P if I ever wrote it. Lies of P is unashamedly bloodborne in its like inspiration. But contrary to a lot of other say Soulsborne or like Soulsborne copy, it has its own identity, has its own twist on it has its own choices on aesthetics, also narrative settings, also in combat mechanics. So it's not just a copy and paste taken from I like this Bloodborne, like Sekiro or this whatever, and then just smash it and just sell it off as a game. No, they actually took time to okay, let's take a look at all these good elements of Soulsborne game and what can we add to it. So that's Lies of P. So when it comes to aesthetics, it get inspiration from the Victorian era of Bloodborne, but then it adds a twist. Okay, instead of taking like the British style, let's take the French style of that Victorian era Belle Epoque, and then is rather than taking a plague city that in the verge of destruction due to the plague. We go to a more fictional puppet uprising. Okay.
Oh no!
Puppet. So instead of a disease that infects human, making them feral, they have society depending on puppets, and then the puppets pretty much went rogue and killed the humans alongside some plagues too, of course. Yeah. And yeah, that's the background of the whole narrative of Lies of P. And you as a player plays as Pinocchio. So a puppet given soul by the the carpenter Geppetto. And of course, being a Pinocchio inspired game, uh, some of the character in the original fable uh, are in this game now. They are in this game. We have Pinocchio, you have Geppetto, you have Jiminy Cricket, but this one they call as Gemini, Gemini. So itu Jiminy Cricket. So yeah. So some of the characters are in this game because the Pinocchio inspired naming, right? Yeah, the settings like Bloodborne. Oh yeah, the when it comes to combat mechanic, it also resembles Bloodborne, as in you have so in Bloodborne you have trick weapons, right? So you have a weapon, a melee weapon that has two modes. So mode one or mode two. But for Lies of P,
Mm-hmm.
instead of having weapon with two mode, you can actually modify the weapon to have different move sets depending on the handle. So let's say you have an electric club, so you can just detach the handle and the club part, and then put the club part to a, let's say, a sword handle. So you have a sword moveset and a electric club.
Right.
Yeah. That's the twist when it comes to the weapon mechanics. What else? Oh yeah, also another note on the combat. It's Sekiro like, as in you have to it's a rhythm S base. So people those who review Sekiro and played it like competently, they say Sekiro is a rhythm game disguised as as a melee character action game. And the same goes to Lies of P. It is sort of a rhythm game where you dodge, you parry according to rhythm. And there's no iframe in here. You cannot abuse iframe like in Soulsborne game. This is, if you dodge and stuff, it's like the character model literally avoids hitboxes instead of iframe. Yeah. What else? Blah blah blah.
I
I think
guess.
that's all
Yeah.
for Lies of
Nice.
P. Yeah. So
Nice.
yeah, it as a bit short conclusion, this is unashamedly Bloodborne game that it has its own identity, that it stands on the same level as other From Software's Soulsborne game. Period.
And for that, for being unashamedly Bloodborne, they will get our side award for Bloodborne of Pussy Copium Award.
Copy of word. Yeah.
We will never get it, but this is the close. And
Yeah, this is the closest one you can get for Bloodborne on PC as
yeah,
of now.
and it is also the winner of Best Soulsborne. Yep, pretty good. Not bad, boys. Not bad. So speaking of boys, we are now going to turn into men, where we shall now adopt a new identity, but still whinge when we lose in RC car racing, because that is the manly way. And what other game does that than the Like a Dragon series? Because we have Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. It's by the guys at Ryuga Gotoku Studios, and also published by Sega. It was released in November, and it's also on Game Pass. Ooh, this game. I shall now hand it over to our resident Like a Dragon expert, because he has 100. You have 100% this game, right? Right?
I won't say 100%, but I have definitely seen the ending.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
I'm not sure if I need. I want to like see all the camera girls' reaction to my stupid answers. I mean, I could, but anyways, like a Dragon Gaiden sounds like okay, a stopgap game that's supposedly started not supposedly, it started life as a DLC
Mhm.
and then evolved into a standalone game for to own company Yakuza Like a Dragon, aka Like a Dragon 7. So
Alright.
this is 7.5 technically. Well, we have that discussion already. But the gist of this game is that this is probably the last time we see Kazuma Kiryu as the leading protagonist in a Like a Dragon
No.
game where you get to punch people directly.
Damn.
Probably the game has set up so many things, but you never know. With Like a Dragon, we thought we thought Kiryu has like separated his ways from the Yakuza in Yakuza 3, and then 4 games later he's still
We're still here.
somehow the call of the underworld keeps on bringing him back for some reason, and that's the point of the story. For whatever reason, the call of the underworld brings him back. He's supposed to be dead. He has erased his name, but some people say, yo, look at that Joryu guy. Do you think he can't be Kiryu, right? Yeah, look at that Joryu guy. We call him Joryu. Yeah, he looks like Kiryu, maybe. Yeah, I wonder how he looks like when he removes his glasses. Yes, we have a Clark Kent situation here, goddammit. Yeah. But anyways, despite the story having your typical Yakuza isms, where you just have to like suspend your common sense a bit to just follow the weird twists and turns that it provides, yeah. But
Mhm.
if you are you say you invested with the story of Kiryu and you are attached to the character, you find there is something at the end of this game that will basically set you up for the what I assume to be the finale of Kiryu's story in Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth later on. But they basically set up the okay, finally we see Kiryu as a person in a different light. In terms of gameplay, oh yeah, you get to punch people again this time around after I think the last time we get direct combat is Lost Judgment.
6. Lost just not
Yeah,
6.
yeah, 6 kan. But then Judgment and Lost Judgment carry that over, and I think the improvements from that they have done from Lost Judgment carries over to Like a Dragon Gaiden. They even added style switching,
Ooh.
which 6 doesn't have, but past games have. So yeah, and there's just a lot of things to do. Like I mean, that's typical for Like a Dragon, but they really load it up this time around. The whole arena mini game feels like they are trying something like, why not we venture into making a 3D brawler game where you get to select different characters, all different play with different move sets. They are trying things out. They are very much trying. And of course, they bring back the best of the mini game. So you get your racing, your pocket racing, yeah, your pocket circuit racing, and then you get your other old callbacks like, oh, you get to play billets again, which has been dormant for I think like last time in Yakuza 0 or something like that. So and then cabaret girls and whatever can, so plenty of things to indulge, to spend your time, be a baller, get your money, spend your money, and wear drip. You can customize your Kiryu's outfit this time around. Put in your clown makeup for whatever reason if you want.
Could you come me?
That you can be a clown. So yeah, the gameplay is just fun. They just let Kiryu loose, do whatever, enjoy Sotenbori as he sees fit. Because the storyline goes somber, it gets sad, which leads to the what you say outside awards. because we have awarded Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name for best pre-sequel.
I mean, it's not wrong. Am I not wrong?
I mean, it's not wrong, but man, we have to bring this
Blame
word
Randy.
again, yeah.
Yeah,
Is this a
blame.
Gamer Matter exclusive word?
No, this is from fucking Randy. Rabbit fish.
Or Randy, okay.
I
The Borderlands, the pre-sequel came out in when?
Yeah.
2013,
2015.
Oh yeah, I remember.
2013.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the pre-sequel. Okay.
literally 10 years ago. So yeah, best pre-sequel, and also this one also I have put it on the spreadsheet on the fly. Man Can Cry award, because Man Can Cry. People
Oh, you
who
will.
people who reacted very oddly when they see Kiryu shed a tear in that one particular trailer. Please check go and look at the ending with context, and you will discover that yes, let that man cry. He deserves it. When you know the context, you will feel like what's that word, that phrase Hideo Kojima say, you will regret your words and feelings. So
You wasn't feelings.
whatever that thing Kojima
You
said
regret
kan.
your words and deeds. Yeah, that's what I
Words
remember.
and this yeah. This applies to Kiryu. I'm saying it. I'm putting my foot on here. God damn it, and you just have to marvel at the technical spectacular. There's a lot of technical things that you see when Kiryu cries, and I have never been amazed at the beauty of graphics, because someone is bawling, like BAWL bawling.
Like a dragon. Cannot wait for the next game. Speaking of which, we shall now swing over to the next game. And it's. If you think one Spider-Man is enough, what about two together? Because that's our next game. We have Marvel Spider-Man by Insomniac Games and published by Sony Interactive. I forgot. It's always remember Sony Interactive.
Entertainment.
Entertainment, yes. Such a boring name. Came out in October 20th. And, ooh. Spider-Man. Hi, Spider-Man. Hi, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Hi, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man game good.
Spider-Man.
Okay. So here's the fun thing about Marvel Spider-Man 2, man, is that you really need to stretch your words a bit to figure out the right superlatives to describe this game. Because okay, this is an open world action adventure game, kan?
Yes.
But it's also an open world action adventure game which has been refined, polished. I don't see all the bugs that some people have posted, man. For me, I consider this game polished. I didn't encounter those.
You didn't get encountered by the non-canon spider tofu. Damn.
I don't force myself to ride a bicycle into a subway and then see that the function that isn't working. Surprise, isn't working. I'm not a bug tester. I'm not a QA tester. But so back on point, kan, because the game is so refined and polished, and also a lot of the new stuff not necessarily it in the context of this series is kind of a game changer, but in the context of video games in general, maybe not so much. Like, oh, you can now fly with wingsuits. Okay, so we are just cause 3 now, isn't it? So that's the cynical way of looking at it. But when you play, when you swinging in Spider-Man 2, and then you discover that, oh yeah, the open world map now requires you to cross a freaking river to access that other borough on the other side, which is like Queens and Brooklyn. So how are there alternatives to swinging? And yes, that's the answer. Okay, that's why you can fly across the river. It just makes sense in that context. So okay, that's why. And yeah, and then they just add a lot of stuff in the combat, so you get different move sets, and then you do switch around between Peter and Miles as the two canonical Spider-Man in New York City, which is a very interesting take for a Spider-Man adaptation. I think this video game is the only instance where Peter and Miles, to my understanding lah, Peter and Miles exist together both as Spider-Man.
Yes, that's correct.
And yeah, and they do follow, they bring in your rogue gallery. That's the word I'm looking for. Your rogue gallery of familiar villains for those who are familiar with the IP, with the series. But the way the story flows is a bit different. So you expect a bully Lowenthal arc when, because Spider-Man here, Peter here, gets an encounter with the symbiote. But the way he becomes a bully is different. And the way he interacts with people is different. And the way people reacts to the bully arc is different. So yeah, familiar elements in it. But overall, Marvel Spider-Man 2 feels like, okay, if you were making a game and you are rating them based on RPG stats kan, as if like you are building your character sheet kan, okay, so Marvel Spider-Man 2 is your equivalent of an overall average build, as in that all the stats are evenly balanced. The graphics are 8, the gameplay is 8, something like that, maybe 9 lah, because I think Marvel Spider-Man 2 is very great. Okay, so 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. No specific flaws, but also no specific, you see, one shiny component that we can talk about for ages and ages. But that's the thing, I think for most people who like Spider-Man or like this sort of games, they just want good games, and this is a good game.
Yep.
I cannot say more than that. Okay, you want your action game to feel good, you press button, you do something cool, and then you see a spectacle, you see set pieces, and if that's what you want, this is the game. Your buy the book AAA video game.
Which is not. It's just not that bad, but it's like we already expect what you want.
It's not like it is the bad thing. It's the fact that it's hard to find the words to describe it. It's hard to have a conversation about it, because okay, nothing to complain. But still, good game. The point being, it's a good game. But also, I think we've concluded that because we can't pick something about the gameplay for Spider-Man 2 to award a side award, we've gone for something else, something that is setting up for the next game. Essentially, so we have awarded Marvel Spider-Man 2 for best sequel bit, because yeah, they have set up a lot of what you say, narrative points, and introduce characters that may be explored in the next Spider-Man game, should they go around and do it, which they should, because people want their Spider-Man game.
Like J.J. Jameson, I want pictures of Spider-Man.
I have good news. I won't say it right now, but I have good news.
I want more pictures of Spider-Man. So now we shall go more weird, more low, like not low bro, but low profile, because we're gonna be talking about our next game on the list, which is Phantom Brigade. It's by Brace of Sap Games. It was released quite early. It's our second earliest game, which is on February. And this one I don't know that much, so I shall now give it back to Matt.
Okay, so we've talked about anime chess, and we talked about strategy games,
Yes.
tactical strategy games, and
Yep.
for some people who may feel like, okay, this has been a stagnant niche of a genre, kan? Take a look at Phantom Brigade, and then figure out this game is basically a strategy tactics game. This is, you can consider this as an SRPG. You can consider it as a strategy game in the veins of XCOM and XCOM like.
Oh.
Yet, the way is it turn based or real time? And the answer to that is maybe so. Yes.
Mayhaps.
Due
My
to the
favorite word of the year, mayhaps.
due to the fact that the turn is being presented in a timeline which makes a lot more sense if you have worked with a video editor software of some sort. If you mess around with Vegas, you mess around with DaVinci Resolve or something, and you will immediately see, oh yeah, this thing I'm controlling a squad of big giant robots via Windows Movie Maker. You literally have a timeline that you can scrub to and fro to see what the actions will happen. You have the ability in game, the it is described as you, the commander, have the ability to see a specific moment of time ahead. You can see the future just a bit of it, so you can plan ahead on how to counter the attacks or plan your movement. So this game plays a lot more reactionary as a result. So you have to think about, okay, the enemy is going here and will attack in this direction. What should I do? So in a way, a little bit of Into the Breach, if you remember that game. Also a good kaiju game. And that's the interesting take on it, interesting thing that you can talk about it. So unlike Marvel Spider-Man, you figure out, okay, which all of them is just cool. Phantom Brigade has one cool mechanic that is I don't think anyone else is doing. They tried, and it's a fascinating to like experience, especially if you like you like this sort of genre, but you have one too many anime chess or something like that. Give this a shot and see if it works for you. It's such a brilliant concept. It is also, it will take a while to get used to, as any brave new concepts are. And also, you get to customize your big giant robots. This is technically a mecha game as well.
Yay.
Well, yeah, it's a mecha rather than a mech, because uh, the robots are very much humanoid. So yeah, Phantom Brigade. That's why the side award is very obvious lah. From from what I have explained, best game for video editors. Yeah, over to you, Daniel.
All right. Okay. So we shall now visit the nearest resident, only to find out it's now been evaded by evil once again. And it is Capcom's classic, Resident Evil 4, now remade for 2023, just like Death Space earlier. And wow, what a game! What a game! Okay, so I'll just read my excerpt from my first review. I was one of the few those naysayers like that said no, Resident Evil 4 does not need a remake because come on, it's already perfect. How can you improve on that? Well, apparently you can improve more on that. Ooh, like the gunplay is so much better. The story has been fleshed out. Yes, it's so much better now. The story is so better. It's like it is, I think like they have like refined it so that it fits into the modern times, which I am fine. But it makes the storyline now flows better, like into especially like after Act 2, after literally harpooning a giant fish as a boss battle. Everything after that is so much better, like so much refined. And one of my favorite aspects of this is that they have fixed Ashley. Ashley is now, and she's essentially Ellie from The Last of Us, because she does not mess around anymore. She will help you out. Like if you're out of ammo, you will call it Leon catch, and it's actually the ammo that you want. So essentially, she is now Ellie Williams, which I approve. And I haven't played the new DLC, the new Ada DLC, which is a part of the original storyline of Resident Evil. But from what I've seen, it is also they fleshed out it as well. Like so much things, like they like left on the cutting room floor back then, back in 05. No, everything's there now. It's perfect. It is. I think like the way to play this version of the game now. Like just like Resident 3, just like Resident 2 beforehand, all the remakes are perfect. It is alright. And thanks to them buffing Ashley up to become literally Ellie, she and well the game itself has gotten our side award of best damsel not in distress.
Yay.
Yeah, I don't have to carry her.
Help.
No, she'll help herself. I don't have to carry her into the garbage bin anymore. They removed the garbage bins.
They remove the garbage bin. Okay.
Yeah, because she's better. She's a better AI now.
He can fight now.
You can find out. So yeah, Resident Evil 4 in our list for that. But you know what else? It's a fun game that blurs the line between parody but good shooter. It's this small game called Slayer's X. Terminal Aftermath Vengeance of the Slayer. I love that game so much. It's by a fake studio called Big Z Studio Inc.
No, don't let Zin know. You say that.
No. And it's published by No More Robots. And for those who are not in the loop, kind of, probably most of you, this is actually it is made by the devs who made Hypnospace Outlaw. Also a very good game. Very good indeed. So what's it about, Matt? Why is it so funny?
I mean, the setup is already funny. Okay, first you have to know who Zin is. Zin Lofton was a cringe 14-year-old or maybe 15. Okay, like a teenager back in 99 who survived the incident, the Hypno OS incident. He survived that thing.
Yes.
But back then, he was the equivalent of the 1990s version of a shit poster who not only shit post but also like cringe in a oh man, look at this kid go kind of way. Like he tries so hard to be cool, he tries so hard to be like this badass kind of guy, but you know, he's actually just a kid trying to seek attention / affection in some way or form, which you know we've been through before. We've seen people like that before, so understandable circumstances. So the bit here is that Slayer's X is a game that was in development during back that time, back in the 90s, and Zin decided to like, okay, like for this year, okay, we've found back the disc, and why not let's finish this game and ship it, sell it. He needs more money. His low wage job right now is not doing so well.
Yeah.
So he decided to cash in. So he basically just polish up the old. That's why this game is a boomer shooter, because it was basically was designed in the late 90s.
Technically, it's just a shooter. Yeah, back then it's just a shooter.
It's basically it basically like a temporary shooter, if you view from that lens. And oh goodness gracious, like the way the game is designed, the whole, the aesthetic of it all feels so grungy and gross because it is designed by Zin, and Zin likes the potty humor, so there's a lot of fecal matter around. Oh god damn it. But there's also that there are weird CGIs, which basically not weird. I think back then was okay, but you know, old 90s CGI, 3D CGI does not age well, and it shows. It is cringe. The fact that the voice actors feels like they are phoning in their lines. The whole game is full of spelling errors because he's a kid who's not very good at his English class, I guess. So, the spelling of glass shards are spelled glass shards because I think he loves his potty humor. Or maybe both because he also can't spell shards correctly. It can be both.
Yeah, okay.
So there's
Accurate.
there is like a few layers of initiation to really enjoy this game for what it is. Because if you just hop in and decided to play, oh, why is this a horrible boom shooter? Because it was this.
It's on. It was on purpose, sir.
But that's it, kan? It's not a horrible boomer shooter. It looks like that, but actually, gameplay wise, it's pretty competent. I do have fun. I did have fun. It feels solid. You do have full 3D aiming, so it's not like a Doom clone in that way. So it's more. Duke Nukem 3D is not like that, kan? Duke Nukem has
No,
fake.
the is 2.5D
Yes.
technically.
But the game looks like Duke Nukem 3D, but you have full
Yes.
3D movement. So it requires a bit more context to actually enjoy the game. But the fact that this sort of game can exist, especially due to the independent nature of the developers, kan, should be celebrated. Even though only
Yes.
like maybe 5 people in the room get the joke, but they deserve to tell that joke. So in that vein, the side award for Slayer's X Terminal Aftermath, Vengeance of the Slayer, very easy, just 2 words.
Mm-hmm.
Best cringe.
Best cringe, yes.
I
He
know,
deserves that.
ironic. How can you award a cringe thing the best? Cringe are the worst.
Yeah, it's an
Crunch.
oxymoron.
It's the
Exactly.
oxymoron. Yeah. Alright. So that was quite of a Slayer moment. But now we shall now go into the stars because we're about to experience some wars. Hopefully we shall find a Jedi who is a survivor. I'll get good at this puzzle. No worries, no worries. So yes, it is.
I mean, if we die, we can respawn, right?
Yes, we can respawn. Alright. So yes, it is Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It is the latest in the Jedi series because it was Jedi Fallen Order, and now it's Survivor. It's by the folks at Respawn Entertainment and also published by EA. Released back in April, and it is pretty good. Like I've tried it on EA Play, pretty good actually. What else was it? Like I like because like your average consumer, I love Star Wars, and Star Wars Jedi Survivor is a continuation of Kyle Kestis' story because he survived the Seven Sisters, basically the big bats of the series. Like actually, I really love the new big bats because they have already been featured in the TV show recently. So for this one, Jedi Survivor, can you film me, Mac? I forgot the storyline already.
So basically, okay, he survived the purge. Now what?
Yes.
Because oddly enough, we can call this game the Last of Us.
The last. Yeah, true,
Because
true.
the story of the few remaining Jedi and how they figure out, okay, so how do we live life after this? In this not post Empire, in the world where the Empire has outlawed Jedi and all the teaching and whatever tu kan. So yeah, interesting story in that part. It gets more interesting later down the road. So do play it until the end. But the main takeaway I had got from playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor kan, is that I totally forgot that this is supposed to be a Souls-like game. I totally
Oh
forgot
yeah.
about it. And I'm not saying it because this is a diss. it's actually a compliment because they have added another bigger component that basically expands the scope of this game in a way that this feels more like an action adventure. This feels more like a 3D platformer. You do jumping puzzles. You get to access specific parts of the world when you get the right upgrades. And what else? So it feels, but there's still like there is the souls likes the soulsborne elements are still there when you go to specifics where you say quote unquote levels kan. You still have the level design being loop around a circle where you get oh okay this is the spawn point the resting point. You go around, go jump here there, and then suddenly oh open a shortcut. Oh okay back to this resting point again. Okay cool. So you do have that kind of design, and when you do fight, it does plays more like Souls like action game in that way. But the exploration is the most fun part of it all. When you reach that one planet, kan, after the opening set piece, kan, you just get to explore. It's a big old I wouldn't say open world, but it is a big world. And the way it is designed feels like okay, this is a hub world. This is like the you say okay this is the level the specific levels that with the set pieces and all that you have to go to follow the story, and this is side content that you can discover if you poke around the bushes. Yeah, and a lot of jumping puzzles where you have to figure
Wow.
okay jump here, okay jump there, okay use force here, and then you jump to open to get the crate down so you can jump back. Yeah, a lot of that. That's the biggest compliment I can give lah. This game feels so much more than just another Souls-like attempt to make another Souls-like game. It has expanded further. It has become a Ratchet and Clank by way of Dark Souls.
Nice.
Side awards.
Oh yeah, so side awards. For our listeners of this podcast video or audio, we have given it our coveted best mullet award because you can customize Kyle's hair, and he can has a very wicked mullet.
Dude can rock a mullet. Once I found that mullet, it had never been put off. It stays on.
No, it stays on. Don't worry, it's technically in the era of Kyle Gan of the prequel stories. Technically, it's only been the 80s. Yeah, so it's fine. It is in tune. Right. Okay. So next, here it is. One, we shall now explore the space and time, probably both at the same time, because it is one of the biggest game for I guess Game Pass and Xbox, because it is Bethesda's Game Studios Starfield. Release the same day as Baldur's Gate 3. For better or worse. I'm not sure for better or worse, but yeah, Starfield. Ooh. Where do I begin with that? This one, it is the game that Todd Howard, basically the big man of Bethesda, has been working on since he released Daggerfall in 97. So that's almost as old as me. So 26 years, 25 years in the making. And you can tell like this is a very collaborative effort because from what we've gathered, Bethesda had help from it. Bethesda had help some help from Arcade, and Machine Games. Everyone worked on doing it towards the end for Starfield, and it shows like this game is big in scale, big in ideas, and big in storyline, which I love. And even though people say like nowadays people are now metric seeing the price. Oh no, Starfield players are now low, but it's okay, it's fine. It's a single player game, it's fine. Because those who have played it have probably I want to say reach a point of understanding why. Maybe it's time to stop playing this for a while and then come back when I feel more refreshed, like I am doing right now. Because Starfield is it's not the word I would say boring. It is unique in the fact that they have like space exploration, yeah. They have space exploration. They have storylines that you can cover. Those neat stories bit that the guys at Fez are good at. But it also has a very overarching story, which I feel needs to be talked more because it is a thing that every time someone found it, it will become headlines for IGN or Gamer or whatever website gaming websites they are nowadays that are not this because every discovery is something new. And people keep discovering stuff until recently, like as recent as earlier this month. So that's how good it is. Like those who have stayed knows what Starfield means to the players, and they say like essentially the gist of it is that don't worry about canon. What is canon, what is not, don't worry about it. Just let it to the side. Just experience it, sir. Can grab that controller, grab that game pass, just sit down, experience it.
Yeah.
Because it might be controversial, but I want to put them as a maybe like kan in the podium kan, the podium state like first, second, third. So first might be Baldur's Gate, second place might be Alan Wake, whatever. I want to put Starfield in third. Like they are there, they're almost there. Like had they did some stuff which they are planning to add again, they might have been there solid third. That's how good it is, and I'm kind of sad that they're finally adding it later next year when mods come in. But oh, this game had me thinking. That's how good it is.
Okay, so remember when I said about Marvel Spider-Man being a game, if you put it into a character sheet, all the scores will be averagely high. And okay, Starfield is the opposite, where they have
You
strategically
read,
min-max the
you
stats
read.
to the
It's
point that
like
that's why you go to, if you just look at review scores, yeah, you get to see 10 out of 10s and 6 out of 10s.
like
It's spread. The spread is so wide that, and it is all depending on how what weightage of what particular part of the game you favor with. Like if you like a slick UI in your video game, kan, okay, Starfield is a 6 out of 10 easy.
that's a singer like made it on the seal or whatever. But
Ah, but on the other side, there are other people who discover the very interesting stuff that is only can be discovered when you just explore the world, the space, and those stuff makes it a 10 of the 10 out of 10.
yes, yeah,
So
exactly.
uh, s- this is this is an interesting game. That's the fun thing about Starfield, that it is interesting in the way that it is so, I won't say it can be considered maybe top heavy or bottom heavy, because it's just like all over the place where in the terms of the level of quality they put, or the level of effort they put in specific parts of the game. We can complain all day long about their you say their very limited animation that they can do, kan. But
Yeah,
then you see the art assets they have made for all the spaceship parts, impeccable. It fits the hard sci-fi aesthetic they want to go, and it makes it fun to just Lego build your starship, your spaceship.
yeah, your
Uh,
starship.
mm.
God, like this game, like it is the most like it is left. It is either you like it or you hate it. That is like it boils down to that. Like either you like it or you hate it.
I try very hard to avoid the easy comparison, Marmite, but you know,
Wow,
uh,
like yeah.
too easy lah. It's not manga sambal belacan level of, oh, okay, that's the deep cut.
No, this is Marmite. Yeah, like you like it or hate it. Or durian for the more local, like yeah, like people hate it,
Yeah.
people like it. That's actually that.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about durian.
Also tauge.
Oh my god, I love that.
Bean
I love
sprouts.
tauge.
Yeah, team bean sprouts all the way, man.
Yeah, dim bean
Yeah.
sprouts, man.
Toge.
Raw bean sprouts.
Okay, I won't go that far.
I'll go that far.
Oh my god, no. Right, to wrap things up before we go unhinged. All right, so for this Starfield, we'll get the for our side what they win the Doctor Who award because Doctor Who is also like that. Like you either like Doctor Who, you hate it. Canon be them. The storyline doesn't make sense, but people take that shit with I guess a tool or a screwdriver. I don't know. I forgot what their favorite tool is, but yeah, yes, it is the mix, the left or right thing. So very cool. But after that, instead of left or right, how about fight or flight? Because our next entry of our top 30, we're coming up to the end. It is Street Fighter 6 by Capcom. Boy, Street Fighter 6. They have they have beaten Tekken to the punch and they've released it this year to great success. So let us give the ring to Mac and explain why Street Fighter 6 is pretty good.
So released on June 2nd, and this game, it will. How do I start it? Okay, I can start with the obvious. The game's theme song has the chorus lyrics, "I ain't ever backing down." It's a strong statement because if you know what happened with Street Fighter 5, then you know, oh, okay, this is fighting words. They are coming back strong this time, and they do. They live up to their words. Because Street Fighter 6 right out of the gate, right at launch, delivers in the content that people expected, even more actually. And the gameplay changes for this iteration of this long running fighting game has been positive so far. The whole, I forgot the name, the drive system. It's
Yep.
it's been very well received. The game, oh, and also they have done the efforts to make fighting games accessible in a way that, yo, we have added automatic transmission in this fighting game. Use this if you don't want to drive manual, in the way of modern controls. No, literally, that's basically it. When you think about fighting games having like simplified moves, yeah, it's basically having automated transmission or manual transmission on racing games. It's the best comparison in that both are valid ways to play, and Capcom really promotes this by having like, okay, you can match make modern players and classic players, and they can compete in the top line, the top, we say, what's the word, in the esports stuff, and you can compete with those kind of controls because they are designed to be of the same level despite the not same style of control. And also you have drawbacks just a little bit. If you're playing with automatic transmission in a racing game, you don't have full, control of doing
Yes.
short shifting, stuff like that, kan? But you still can be competitive if you're really good at your fundamentals, as in like dealing your racing lines and whatever, kan? Similar case with modern controls. Modern controls won't give you access to all of the toolkits, all the special moves, but you have just enough to make it work. And it is proven that modern players can compete competitively at a high level. So, good job on making fighting games actually fun. And there is an incentive for people who just want to start playing fighting games, not know how to play fighting games, and too afraid to just jump into online and get bodied over and over, and you have to learn the hard way. Thankfully, there's a whole ass single player campaign that actually put you on the streets where you can go and have fights. It's a whole ass RPG. You can, I won't say romance, but you can develop relationships with the cast of Street Fighter and learn their backstories.
Nice.
You can hang out with Luke and play. There's a parody of Resident Evil. I forgot the name, but you can play a horror game with it. So yeah, Street Fighter 6. It's been a good return to form for this series, and as the what you say, the main face of fighting games to the mainstream players, it has been a beacon to attract new players. Yo, this game is good. Oh, okay, Street Fighter is good. Okay, now I can jump into fighting games.
Yeah.
And
We have CVT now.
yeah,
They come in, lock the door.
and what and I'm not just saying it just from feeling. We have statistics. Evo 2023 has been the biggest Street Fighter 6 tournament. Not
Okay.
not biggest Street Fighter 6, but biggest fighting game tournament. Period.
Ooh.
With an open bracket. How many thousand was it? Like it's in the thousands. People signing up. Of course, most of them going 0 and 2. They just lose their matches and they just have fun at Vegas. But still, the point is, it has attracted that many people who are eager to compete at a high level. And you can deduce from there that there are enough people within the pool of players who are just starting out or just playing the game for the fun of it. A good thing to see in a
Nice.
fighting game lah. On a separate note, the side award.
The side awards. So yes, so what does Capcom get? They get the best cursed character creator award, because holy moly, I played the beta and it's already during that beta it was already wild. And I think like all those cursed characters it's actually, that's a, what's it called, advantage to it, right? Like big characters, small characters and all.
Oh yeah, it determines the hitboxes.
Oh,
It literally
okay.
says it in the character creator. So some people may design cursed characters just for the gameplay advantage.
Yeah, that's how you make a character creator.
But thankfully, like avatar battles, using those created characters, and those are just for funsies lah. They are not. You don't compete online for rank. I don't think lah.
I
Like
don't
you,
think
you, you don't you don't go to Evo with your cursed character. It's basically what I'm saying. No.
It
but you
would be
can-
very funny.
It only I just remember that my created character was a depiction of Papa Zola, who was very short and stocky, and he had trouble like doing long range punches.
Boy.
Yeah, there was a time. Maybe.
We shall now move on to something more casual, something more relaxing, or it's stressing if you're if you're much obliged, because this game came out of nowhere, like literally out of nowhere. Like you close your eyes, okay, nothing happened. Open your eyes, everyone is playing this watermelon game, or as they call it, the Sirka game, which is just translated to watermelon, isn't it?
Yeah. Watermelon game.
Watermelon game. It's by a company called Aladdin X, but our research has found out that Aladdin X is owned by Baldu, which is the biggest. Essentially, it is the China's version of Google. So essentially, we're playing Google Plus mini games. Yes. So I'll just give you an example, because Circa game is simple. There is no objective. You are there. You are nothing. You are literally. It's just it's kind of a game that you play like with your mom or something, because your goal, well, I guess my goal is just that you need to get the watermelon. So basically, it goes from little to big. It's essentially what's that game you call, Mac? Is it 248 or something like that? Zero. Yeah,
Was
2048. Yeah, 2048. Yes.
it's basically the merge puzzle game. A
Yep.
merge puzzle game.
And it's just that, like, it is just that, it's just a much puzzle game, but they have added something more sinister. They have added physics. The physics that determines you whether your fruit gets into their next stage, or if you're unlucky, it just flies out, flies out of the box that you're putting the fruits in, and just kills you instantly. So resetting the game, and it just become a very hit. It's like $2, so like ringgit. Just barrier entry, go in, have fun, and like, do you know how hard it is to find a trailer for this game? There's no trailer for this game at all.
I mean, just capture gameplay lah.
Exactly, that's it.
Just you throwing an orange into the pile of whatever strawberries.
Strawberry, yeah, strawberry. Yeah, that's it.
That's good enough. That is gameplay. That is Suika gameplay.
Kind of like, it's just $2. Just buy that, and then you will see time melts from, let's say, 1 p.m. to 1 a.m. because why, you cannot get the damn watermelon for the last 12 hours.
The game
And
been around for a while, but the Nintendo Switch release worldwide was this October, kan? 20th.
20th. So it's actually there. Everybody's like, yeah, this is good. This is very good. And for that, kan, we like to thank our VTuber community for this one. This is for you, because Suika Game has gotten our side award of the VTuber viral award, because I wouldn't know about Suika Game until I saw Amelia Watson from Hololive EN playing it. Like, that's why you know, if your Oishi plays it, yep, it's over. You have to play it now. God dang, Suika Game, man. It's just watermelon. Damn watermelons, man. Alright. Oh. And then what about some wonder? What after some watermeloning, what about some wonder? What about we look into the wonder of world, and wonders of what scheme shall Mr. Bowser do this time around, as we play second fiddle again with Mario and gang. So we're talking about Super Mario Wonder. It is the latest 2D Mario game by Nintendo that was released back in October 20th, and it is one of the best ones. Easily one of the best ones. Like, let's say if your cousins or your aunts want to play the new Mario game, yep, this one. Just point to this one. This one, auntie. This one, auntie. What a game. So Mario, it's okay. The story is simple. Bowser has taken over, not Peach's world this time. It's like a Princess world. Who's, I don't know who. It's like some, and he has stolen the seats, the wonder seats, essentially the stars for this round. And it's up to Mario and Luigi and Peach and Daisy once again to, beat up Mr. Bowser. Not the CEO of the current CEO, no, the Bowser, the dinosaur. I think that's his.
It's just a Koopa.
Is it Koopa? I don't know. That's the problem. Anyway, I forgot as well. He didn't mention his thing in the movie either. Tapi tak apa.
Okay lah, but whatever Bowser is, he is lah.
He is that, yes. His son is there as well, Bowser Jr. as well. He will be the final boss for a few worlds before the most serious one. So yeah, it's a family affair as usual. And that this one is like the level design. Oh, this is Mario. This is Nintendo at its creative. Like wow, they have done it so much better. Like every level is different. Every level has a gimmick. Every level feels fresh. Like you won't get bored playing this game. And I think like one of the best part of it is that it's simple enough to pick up, and it's hard to mess. So essentially, it's like those Kaizo games, which I say that they're also Kaizo levels as well if you find it nice enough. And boy, those ones are so hard. And so for this one, guy, this game I like to go. Like it's like going into a theme park. I don't think enough. Like this world has this world has that. So it just fits. It's teaming so well. And for that, they win our side award for best theme park experience because hey, it's literally visiting different worlds. Except there's no line or the dreaded fast pass.
Oh.
We don't need fast pass in a Mario game, but you need it in the theme park. But that's beside the point. So let's keep this soul train going again and kick back, relax a bit. How about visit Hawaii? But we're not here to see the sand. No, no, no. We're about to drive a $3 million car into the ocean because one of the collectibles is in the middle of the ocean, and I think you can make it with if you're Lamborghini, maybe. But yes, this is the Crew Motorfest, the latest in the Crew series, which replaced the Driver series back then. And this one, it goes more tropical, more sunny, more touristy in a way of. We are in Oahu, which is an island in Hawaii, and you're just vibing there. You are a contestant in their Motorfest, so you just essentially you're driving there. It's like those FGC guys you just said, Mike. You're just there to have fun.
Yeah.
You might not win, yeah. You might not win the race. No, you're just having fun, though. And I think like the best part about the Crew Motorfest car, like it reminds me of the what I like about the open world racing game back then, like back in 2013 when Forza Horizon T came out. Like that was for me, that was the peak of Forza Horizon because the vibes, the chill vibes and all. And Ivory Tower has done actually a pretty good job trying to convey like it is a tourist TV style, like just vibing, like you're here to have fun, and then visit the booths. Like the booths have we have Hoonigan here, we have a Donut Media, all of this YouTuber stuff. They have like a book called like booth. So, you get to look at them, you get to drive their cars and all. And I think like one of the reasons why I like the Crew as well is that the driving is it's okay. It's better than the Crew 2, but it needs some work. But one thing that I love is that they have so far they are the only modern current gen racing game that has 900 degrees of rotation. Yeah, that's it. They have 900 degrees of rotation. The last game that I know has that is it the Drive Club? Yeah, Drive Club has 900 degrees of rotation, like the actual
Like
racing.
full-
Yeah,
Is it
full lock,
to lock or something.
lock to lock. Yes.
Lock to lock 900 degree. Okay.
Like the last game that has that is Drive Club back in 2014, which is a shame. Tapi yeah. And since they are in Hawaii, and the vibes, the chill vibes with all the booths of the Hoonigan shit, they win our side award for best tourism because Hey, you're literally a tourist visiting Hawaii. You're just vibing there with your fancy cars, and I have it any other way. Right. What next? Next we have. Oh, do you like rolling mech? Because we're gonna roll an entire planet after this. Literally after this podcast, we're rolling out everything. I'm sorry.
Again,
Again, yes. That's why there's a plus.
we love Katamari Reroll plus Royal Reverie. Such a long name for remaster, but for a remaster of what most people consider peak Katamari, developed by Bandai Namco and was released on June 2nd. Oh yeah, June 2nd.
Yep, just a second.
Is there's a small price to pay. Just a longer title.
You're
But
paying for the extra lines.
But that's the thing about this game. This is basically just a remaster, just a bit slight adjustments here and there. Maybe some content change, but in the when you say not too dramatic of a change, unless you are Malaysian, which is disappointing to not be able to roll the Petronas Tin Towers.
No.
No, but we get to roll the national monument in Indonesia instead.
Oh, the Monas.
Okay lah. Okay, instead of two towers, we got one big one.
We
Okay.
got one big tower.
Okay.
Not that bad.
I mean, more people will be happy. The more millions of
The bigger demographic is happier.
Anyways, this game could have. I don't know how much of a change graphically it has done, but for me, when I compare it to the PS2 original and the new remaster, kan, it just looks how I remember this game looked. Which I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a compliment or, but still, the game ages well. It feels evergreen. It was quirky and fun back then, and it's still fresh, quirky and fun in 2023. Like all the gimmicks, all the weird cookie presentations, and oh man, the soundtrack. The soundtrack still lives rent free in your head when you have it on. Yeah, and it's just a game about rolling a ball around. I mean,
Yeah.
but no other games that roll a ball like how Katamari rolls a ball with the dual analog stick thing, where you have to basically how you control, how you push a trolley in real life. That's how you're gonna push your analog sticks to simulate how you roll a ball.
Yeah.
But just the zaniness of it all. Like, okay, here's one task. Roll a ball of candy for Hansel and Gretel. Oh look, this is just a level full of candies and a candy house. Okay.
Roll the candy.
Roll the candy.
Just roll the candy bar. And then there's an island with a racetrack. Okay, roll all the cars if you can catch them. And they just zoom past you. And of course, the whole bit about the escalation of the rolling, and in this entry, the escalation goes up into let's roll the planets into a big ball, and then I'm not sure it caused a big bang or something, but you do get to create. When you complete a level, you basically created a planet, yeah. So you roll all those created levels that you have created, and that's the end of the level gameplay. It's not much of a spoiler lah. Don't worry lah. This game's just fun to just see how big you grow your ball. Because it's just like, okay, for one moment you're just rolling like a small box, and the next minute you are rolling a gate, and the next minute you start rolling buildings, the next minute you start rolling monuments, then the next minute you roll a kaiju. Next other minute, rolling out clouds. It just keeps on going and going until time runs out. There's a timer.
Mm.
But yeah, the fact that this game still feels fun despite the remaster, just basically just a little bit of touch up. And of course, there's a new content lah. The Royal Revelry thing is a new content.
Ooh.
But they don't even need to add new content to make this game feels worthy of a spot here in the best game of 2023. This game is evergreen fun. On that note, the side award for Wheel of Katamari Reroll plus Royal Revelry.
Oh, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
I have to look at the words to make sure I got it right. We awarded this game the best earworm because once the song plays in your head, it just won't stop.
You know what song, yeah.
You don't need Limp Bizkit to keep on rolling and rolling and rolling. There's a whole ass soundtrack and more you want to pay for the DLC.
Yeah,
Just
the original song is DLC and like
how should I describe the music of Katamari? A little bit of jazz, a little bit of Japanese jazz, a little bit of pop, and just all over the place. I think there's one bossa nova song even for Wheel
Bossa
of
Nova.
Katamari. So it goes all over the place, but the important thing is you just vibe through it all. It's just fun times by just rolling a ball. The most playful of acts, rolling a ball, and you can still make it fun in a video game context. Isn't it interesting? So, yeah. What's next?
Next we have this is a sad one. Next we have our sole entry in the Monster Hunter genre of recently, and that is Wild Hearts.
Developed by Omega Force, the folks that do all those Musou games, i.e. Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors, at all. Published in an interesting way because this is technically a joint venture with EA and Koei Tecmo. Is published under the EA Originals label. It was released early this year, back in February 17th. But
Yeah, quite early.
yeah, quite early. Sure, the game is not in a good state right now, which is unfortunate. Yet, I want us to keep to keep the flag
Keep the spirit alive.
hoisted, so that the monster hunter genre should still be a hunting genre. It should not just be a monster hunter like. And Wild Hearts has been one of the better examples to be a big player in this ecosystem. In the fact that it nails what a Monster Hunter player wants out of a Monster Hunter game. Of course, you have your big monsters lah. I think this game calls it Kemono. So you have your big monsters. You have to search around a large area. Once you find it, you have to like fight, and you have to strategically what you say target body parts, so you to get the loot drop that you want, so you can craft weapons that is better at taking other monsters down. So that's the whole game loop lah. It's basically Monster Hunter in a lot of ways, but not a straight up copy. The Karakuri system, where you get to summon mechanical contraptions which can be comboed into other things to create bigger Karakuri, a special Karakuri, something like that lah, is also a fun and interesting mechanic. You get to one of the things that you can do with the Karakuri combos is that you just stack 6 boxes to make a big wall. This big wall have a very small window where it remains active, and once that few seconds is up, it's gone. But there are specific monsters where they will charge right at you. It's a very telegraph move, and essentially you get to parry them using big boxes. And when you nail that timing, it is satisfying because the monster falls down, you get a big window of opportunity to do damage. So yeah, Wild Hearts is actually an innovative take on it. The weird weapons are fun also. You get the cannons. You get to fight with a freaking umbrella. Ella.
L.A.
Kan like and the whole take of the presentation itself is based on a fantastical take of medieval Japan. It's also fascinating to see. Like yeah, there's a little bit of mythical essence that you don't see in your medieval Japan depictions because most of them are historical kan. Okay, this one we go wild and fun. Do whatever, and that's why we get those karakuri things also. Technically, it's not steampunk; it's woodpunk.
Woodbug.
Yeah, the whole technology is all based on mechanical contraptions made out of wood
Mhm.
with the is the karakuri thing it's called
Yeah,
because of onomatopoeia because it does sound
Onomatope karakuri
because
is
you
mechanism.
because
Yep.
the sound of it when the sound effects of making the karakuri appear also go like
Kara.
probably I haven't searched that for me. But yeah, it's a shame that the state of the game is not that you say not that it's kind of dead.
It's kind of dead, sir.
I mean,
Frankly
that's a given
speaking.
for Koei Tecmo games
Mm.
anyway.
But the fact that this is a solid attempt of this sort of genre, and it should be remembered. I will raise this flag and ensure that we are not giving this up yet.
Another game?
Not
You're
yet.
not yet, sire.
Not yet. Even if it eventually dies, but I will not be. I would die on that hill. If the game dies, I will die on that hill. Saying Wild Hearts was a good game, and it's in fact it still is. Play Wild Hearts. For the side award, because of the Karakuri system and the fact that I have messed around considerably with the box stacking activities that you can do with the Karakuri system. Side awards go is best box stacking simulator. Very specific. And if you say Baldur's Gate maybe in contention, no, they can take the bigger award, best immersive sim.
Yes.
You can
Yeah.
you do stack boxes also in that game, but it covers a bigger spectrum. But this is specifically for the boxes.
And we are now come down to number 30th, the final game on our top 30 list. And it's an interesting one. It is Wulong, made by the folks at Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo. It is a very interesting game. So the Soulsborne fellas, have fun. Because this is not my game either.
This is the secret sequel to Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin.
Yes, it is. I can agree to that as well.
And basically the evolution of the Neo brand of Soulsborne, in the way that this is a faster paced game. It is a faster paced game. It also has a lot of parrying. You have to do. I mean, you don't have to do, but you are very much. You better do a lot of parrying to you say go through the encounters, and also the level design is also what you say it's not a labyrinth, but it's small size mazes. What else to say about Wolong? This is a single player friendly Souls like, in the way that you get NPC party members that can help you, and you can do that regularly. I know Dark Souls have that system, but this is just big in more directly. Like you get into one mission and here's insert Romance of the Three Kingdoms general. Okay, you have Guan Yu and his brother.
Oh,
I forgot who his brother is, but they are a team of duo that will be your party members throughout these specific missions, and they will help you draw aggro because they will die eventually. But they help you out in that way lah. I mean, some of them do get stronger, so they're not that entirely useless. They have some uses, but
yeah.
most of it is like draw aggro lah. Especially when you have to fight like like Lu Bu, having a extra pair of hands is helpful in those kind of battles. Yeah, the exploration is fine for the level design being this small, but and there are a lot of RPG systems, a lot of loot. It drops loot more than your typical Soulsborne games because it has loot, proper loot, like stats and rarity, stuff like that. But yeah, the biggest takeaway for Wolong Fallen Dynasty is that this is another iteration of that formula, because Team Ninja is currently working on a yearly annual release. Next year they have a game coming out around March also. It's also kind of a Souls like. So yeah, they are busy.
And Mac, is that 30 games? I think it is.
One more. Oh no,
Oh,
one
one
more
more.
game. I have one more thing to add. The side award for Wolong Fallen Dynasty is the
Yes.
Yeah.
Perry
My
the
favorite
Platypus
pun.
Award.
Yeah.
Perry, Perry the Platypus. Yes, it's glowing red. Perry. As I mentioned, like there's a lot of instances where if you can parry in this game, you can basically win the game. But there are also instances where you are just challenged with nailing the multiple attacks that you need to parry in rapid successions. Most prominent of all, where you have to basically play ping pong, but the ping pong ball is basically a ball of large fire, a large ball of fire, and you have to play ping pong with Lu Bu until he dies, or you die, or the fireball hits someone. Yeah, Daniel, back to your bit.
Yeah, no. That's actually good. Yeah, because it is the end. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
30 games.
ends
Yeah.
the 30 list. All sorted in alphabetical order. So no, we're not discussing anything about best games here in this episode. But yeah, check out those 30 games. We recommend these games wholeheartedly. We stand by these recommendations.
Yes.
And we will look back in like how many years later and see, oh, okay, 2023, the year with all the good games. What are the list? And this is the list we are standing by. And yes, there are many other games, some consider better games even, that have not made the list, and we have mentioned early on, those games either have been considered but we feel like they don't belong here, or we just haven't played them. So yeah, it's not a definitive best objective list, no, but if you ask us, this is the list. This is the best games of 2023, specifically to these three individuals.
These three
Yeah.
stooges.
Three Stooges.
Yeah, I hope you found a new game to play, or may consider trying out some of these games that you may not heard or just heard from the periphery. In this, we are reaching the holidays before, I mean, yeah, January will still be packed with video games, but there's downtime to play all these games. So check a look, find out maybe some of your potentially new favorite game might be in here, and if you do like these games, well, congratulations to you. You have found someone, some people who have shared the same bias as you. So yeah, we 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 can do a circle jerk about this.
No.
Yeah, this is the games we like too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyways, this is the
Yeah.
list. The Gamer Malaya and Gamer Matters top 30 games of 2023. You can find this list on the website on gamermatters.com when it goes live. It will be when you hear this. So easy to reference later on if you need to check a look again.
Yep.
And stay tuned for the actual, real content that is coming out of the Game of the Year awards, which is the awards deliberations. We have how many awards this year?
8,
Eight?
7, I don't know.
7?
Okay, 7 like last year lah, but we changed
Yeah,
one.
last year, yep.
We changed
that's
one
one.
category.
Yeah,
We
will,
have a wild card. Ooh.
yeah, so stay tuned for that whole discussion. That will be also a long one. But yeah, thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed the run through of the top 30 games of 2023 according to us. And that's it. That's that's Dialogue, the Gamer Matters podcast.
Yeah.
See you next episode.
See you next episode. Bye.
See you.